Yeah, like we said, Saturday evening, just you know, really disappointed in not finding a way to win a game, which was a winnable game. I knew all week and tried to tell everyone around here I thought Cal was a really experienced veteran football team, and so give them credit for that they played at a high level, particularly controlling the ball in the first half. And thought the quarterback played extremely well, and defensively those 8 returning starters. I don't remember a single tackle they missed, and I thought they played at a high level. So congratulations to their coaching staff and their kids. They really played at a high level. Having said that, we are very disappointed in the way we played, and it's something we have got to get fixed, and it starts with us as coaches, starts with me. I thought defensively we played well enough to win the game, even though the first half we gave up too many third downs. But some of those they made some good plays, but we controlled the line of scrimmage defensively. I believe they had, I don't know, 2-point-something yards a rush, and that's with 2 explosive runs there at the end. So I thought that was really good. We limited their explosive plays, affected the quarterback. He took some hits, didn't come up with any turnovers. That's, when you're struggling like that and you have a chance to make one, we've got to make those, and we had a chance to make a couple, and we just we didn't. And I thought we fixed issues. DJ and his staff, I thought they fixed the issues as the game went on, and that was really good to see, and hopefully we can build upon that for sure. But I thought they got better as the game went on, and gave our football team a chance to win the game. Special teams, the effort was really good. Thought we were physical, and we had no penalties. Punt team was really solid. So I thought our special teams played really solid. Offensively, it was an awful performance, and we've got to find some consistency there, and that's our job this week, to find that as we get ready to play New Mexico, who went toe-to-toe with, I think Arizona's ranked 20th in the country right now, and they went toe-to-toe with them, and do some really good things, both offensively and defensively. So be a good test of our character, as adversity always reveals what that is, and we'll get to see that as we continue to try to build this program.
We're going to start on the left front row, Brian, and then JG.
You mentioned overcoming adversity. Well, week 1, you had a really big game where everything came easy. This week, not so much. How do you think your team will react to this adversity?
Yes, I look forward. I wish like heck we had morning practices, so I would have already seen all of them. But just got to see a few of them yesterday, and won't see the whole team for another couple hours here this afternoon. But I expect us to respond like you should, and the leadership of the team has to demand that. And I don't think any of them. I did talk to the culture council, and all of them are saying all the right things, but you have to carry that over into your prep. Football season is a long season, and there were many good teams that struggled Saturday, and some got beat like we did. And one game cannot define a season, and I know that's the outside world, the noise that comes with today's times. I know that your players hear all of that, and so that is it's a real battle that you have to face. And we'll see today in my teaching session and the time we spend together. But I depend upon our assistant coaches and our staff to be consistent in our approach and our enthusiasm and the efforts we are putting into building this program the right way through high school recruiting. And our young kids, I don't worry about them at all. they have a passion right now that's really fun to watch and coach, and so we just got to make sure that that the older guys that have been through all of this, and you hear all the talk of this is the goals of every year, and the goal ought to be 1-0 this week, period, and nothing else. And so that message will come across clear to our kids, and hopefully they'll respond the right way.
Joe?
Yeah, Hugh, will you seriously consider making a change at quarterback coming into this New Mexico game?
You know, that's a you know, I've always believed that first of all, we aren't talented enough yet to play bad and win. And I know everybody doesn't want to hear that, but the way we're choosing to build this is to try to develop young men. And obviously, if you follow recruiting, we're starting to get our roster to be better, but we can't play poorly and win, particularly with 5 turnovers. And other good teams can't either, obviously, as you see across the nation. But we're not there yet, but we're going to get there. And I said it's going to take some patience, but not that you should be satisfied. Anyone should be satisfied with Saturday's performance. But we will get there to where we could possibly play poorly and still win. We're not there yet. The struggle with it's really hard to not play a young man, whether it's Peyton or whoever else it is. It's really hard for me to not play a young man that consistently is the best performer in practice over and over and over and over again, and his execution of the offense, which has been pretty clear to all of us that throughout camp and throughout the practice weeks and everything, his performance and his understanding of what we want to do has been better than the others. And if you do that, then you kind of send the message that practice really doesn't matter. Having said that, you know, you have to carry that over into the games. You have to. And I did witness him play really, really good football in some big games last year. We've also witnessed the opposite of that in some games. And quarterbacks and coaches, we take a lot of the criticism when things don't go well, and some of it's deserved. And some, when you watch the film, is, you know what, that's really not exactly what people would say happened. And you know, of his 4 interceptions, one was, I mean, he took a hit right at the throw. He's got a guy running wide open. And let me say this about the calls from the staff, from Nix and Kent and the other people who made calls. There were some really good calls made in that game, and we had people running like wide open. And Peyton missed 3 of those that I think changed the game in the first half. But one of the picks, he gets hit. And I mean, you can't control that. And another was a total miscommunication there at the end. And one went off a receiver's hands. It could have been a little lower throw. Probably could have been caught too. That's 3 of them. One was a very, very, very poor decision. Should never have gone there. And so you look at all of that. He's the highest performer in practice and preparation, which obviously has led to us giving him the starting nod. And but there's got to be carryover into the game. And I think it was John Wooden that once, you know, said that he spoke directly about this and honoring the practice and stuff. But again, sometimes adjustments have to be made, and I assure you we're prepared if that continues. We have to go another direction.
Front row, Brian?
Yes, Hugh, what's the status of Isaiah Miller, Ken Coleman, any other injury issues with this team?
Yeah, both will be questionable for sure. You know, I think Cam probably has a better shot of playing than Tutal. Tutal tried to come back in. That's one of the hits that Peyton took right when he was throwing. He just couldn't move. He's got a hip issue, and we've had the MRIs on both of them, and it's nothing that's season ending. thank God, but, probably be difficult for Tall to play, and I'm not sure on Cam. Just depends on how quickly that, he gets a range of motion in that shoulder.
Go to the second row on the left side.
Coach, you leaned heavily on Keandre and Robert and Cam. They got most of the snaps at wide receiver. Your thoughts on how they performed Saturday and the thought process behind using them as heavily as you did?
Yeah, they've elevated themselves to those positions, but when you get as few as possessions as we had, that's not really the ideal plan. You know, I think we have others in Perry and Malcolm and Sam and Caleb that also can perform at a high level in Camden, and you just didn't get it. We never got in any kind of rhythm to where you got a good rotation going with those guys, and so that is not that's not the way we like to play a game with just those three getting the majority of the snaps. But it just was way too many 3 and outs, 1 and outs, where you know nobody was ever tired because we didn't have enough offensive snaps.
Stay in row 2, we've got 2 more on row 2.
You looking back at that game, do you guys feel like you probably should have ran it more at times, or you gone with your boys? I know early on it was a little tough sledding with the way Cal was stacking the box, but when you went back and looked, you felt like y'all could have ran it some more?
We were effective in running it. I think we averaged 7 yards a rush, and the whole third quarter. I don't know if you remember, but we started every possession inside the 2, but we were able both times to effectively run the ball out of there and then go to your base offense, and both times we turned it over and had wide open guys on both throws. And so should we just kept handing it off and they're giving you these throws? I don't think you can live like that, particularly in the games we have coming up. So you have to be balanced and kind of take what they give you, but we have to execute those give me throws, those give me plays. When we do that, one was a protection where you got hit, and one was the tip pass off of a wide open slant route that was going to be probably an explosive play if we convert it. And so yeah, we're effectively running it, get it out of there, and then turn it over, then get it back in first possession of the fourth quarter, I believe, and fumble it. And we finally had field position then. And you just, 5 turnovers, it spells disaster for sure. But thought we were pretty balanced and was pleased with, thought we knocked them off the ball some to have effective run game.
Stay in the second row, Bill.
With Tall's situation, what's the plan at the tackles? Have you thought more about Dylan moving back out?
Yeah, probably going to have to this week. Go with Frazier and Tate at guard, and probably move one of these. I'm not sure. Tyler or Percy, one will have to go to right, or Dylan, one of those. But most likely we'll have to move D-Wade to tackle for this week. And I'm not sure which one yet. We're going to kind of talk through that here in a minute. But thought Percy played his best game, and that was good to see. Tyler looked a little like a freshman at some points. But we'll need all 3 of them, and chances are we'll move one to right, one to left, and the other guy's going to have to be the swing guy. And Chambers played okay at times. In the run game, played fine. Pass game, he struggled a little bit, but so those will be the 4 guys. But yeah, you'll probably see us have to move D-Wade out some. Maybe not every snap, but yeah, I would think you would see him in tackle some this week.
We'll go front right for 3.
You said after the game that you hope you were further along. When you kind of look at the film, specifically offensively, what surprised you when you watched it? What did you think maybe you were further along?
Us not executing the offense from the quarterback position, truthfully. We just didn't, got a reel of about 15 plays that It's just things we've gotta get right and are typically done right in practice. And, our coaching staff feels like maybe, we attempted to carry too much because of all the different looks that they give you, which they do. They did a good job of that. And instead of us just, man, this is who we are and let's do what we know we can do, where there's a clear mind, clear head, and I assure you the package will not be big moving forward this week, and so that we can get an accurate picture of, you know, is this going to be a reoccurring theme where we have to make decisions? So we probably carried a bit too much, but we just missed some very simple things that keep us ahead of the chains and not in those third and longs, which we just can't live in.
Nathan and Jason.
Hugh, you said you wanted to, see a little bit more before you decided to make that decision. Is this something where you give Hank maybe some first team reps in practice, or do you want to give Hank more opportunities to execute?
I'm meeting with both of them individually as soon as we get through here and going through that cut up reel, and going to see how all of that goes, and we'll go from there. Hank will definitely get his share of reps this week for sure, and let's see. But I expect them both to respond the right way and go out and have a great week of practice. But again, it's now at a point where it can't be just the execution in practice that matters. We're going to have that carryover into the game, which I have seen evidence of. But you also have some of these that just make you scratch your head and say, what are we doing?
Hugh, we saw Keontae not on the field much at all second half defensively. He was returning punts. We saw more of Antonio Kite. What's kind of his role now? Is he moving back inside a little bit more, and how much pressure does that put on the outside?
That's a lot of pressure on that secondary right now. We're thin, really thin, and Keontae's still struggling with that hamstring. And just got to get him healthy. We need him desperately. I think he only played in dime situations in the second half, and we really need him to play a majority of the snaps. So hopefully we can get him healthy.
Row 3, Philip.
When you talk about the quarterbacks, would you go as far as to say that something could change between now and Saturday?
That's a hard one. I don't ever, I think y'all know me. I'm not going to tell you something that's not true. So I think, yeah, I mean, could it? Yes. Do I think I want to see how the week goes before I really decide that? Yes. I want to see how it goes and see how everybody responds to what is on the tape. We talk about all the time the integrity of your life, and tape is not always fun. I've experienced that. Everybody's experienced that, and we have to experience it in a public eye, and you have to own what that is. You have to make the necessary changes. Sometimes there's consequences that come with it, and we certainly experienced those Saturday. And if not handled right, there's more consequences that come with it. And they've heard me say that 1,000 times. I've had to live that, and we'll see how they handle, what the film says.
You mentioned in your open how you guys just aren't at a place yet to play bad and still win a game, but it's obviously tough to expect perfection every quarter, every game. So who do you look to, or how do you get your team to come out with some of those victories even when you don't play your best game as games get tougher to see?
Yeah, don't turn it over 5 times, and I think we would have found a way to score enough points to win. But even though we played bad, but not when you're having 3 and out turnover, 3 and out turnover, 1 play turnover, 1 play turnover. You just you're not going to get in any rhythm, and you're not even going to be able to really know. It's very hard for a play caller to even call a game like that, because heck, we didn't even get to see how are they going to play this formation. Or it was one of those just really poor games for us to play, and we're not at a point to to turn it over 5 times and beat anybody. And so, we're gonna get there. We're obviously adding talent. We're playing, these young kids are playing hard and well, and, they wanna be coached, and we're gonna add a great class to them in 25, but until then, we have to expect our kids to get better each week, and I didn't think we did last week.
Coach, after the game, you alluded to offensive line play and pressure they gave up on Peyton Thorne. What's the pivot offensively, particularly in the quarterback position, if line play doesn't improve? Or how much does that play into your decision about who to start a quarterback moving forward?
Well, that is one thing Peyton gives you. He is the best mobile guy that we have that can extend the play with pressure. So that weighs in your mind also. But the key to that is, I think we've done a good job pass protecting when it's not 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12. And it was just way too many of those. We can't be in those situations. I don't know. There's probably a lot of lines that are going to struggle when it's when they ever get their rabbit personnel on the defense and 4 pass rushers and can add a 5th one to it and know you have to run routes to a certain depth to get a first down. It's very challenging, and so I think the key to us being a great pass protecting team is to stay out of those and need to stay in those 3rd and 5s.
Back left.
Coach, last week the board approved the north end zone construction expansion project. Could you talk a little bit about that and what it means for the future of the program?
Well, it just speaks to the Auburn people. I mean, the support that we get here, and that's what makes losses hurt so bad, because you want to put a product out there that our people are proud of and excited about, and that's just another step in the direction of us building and making Jordan-Hare even more difficult place to play. And there's so many people that I know are going to be involved in blessing us with that, but obviously at the forefront of that is Reed and Robin Dove, who I honestly have developed a deep relationship with. They are dear friends, Jill and mine. We don't just consider them boosters or Auburn supporters. We truly are really good friends, and I enjoy being around those, both him and their whole family. Our family's got to spend quite a bit of time with them, and they're just the most generous, loving people, and so we're thankful for their leadership in this for sure.
Let's stand back, got a couple of TVs.
Coach, you talked about building this program, the patience required. How do you balance being patient with, not that you haven't, but it being year 2, and the players should be taking and showing the strides that you want?
Yeah, I don't know that I can expect everybody to be patient in this world today. I get that, and so I don't get to. I've said that's what it's going to take for us to build it the right way, and in due time we'll have a roster that looks like the elite in this conference, and we've made strides in that. And because we've made strides, you expect the product to reveal that. And when you don't reveal that, it's disappointing to everyone, and it stinks, and it hurts, and it's not a good feeling, and you can't wait to get that taste out of your mouth. And I can't wait for Saturday to get here to give us another opportunity to see if we can put that behind us and improve and then head into SEC play. So, because it's certainly not going to get any easier. Everybody's playing at a high level right now, it looks like, in this league, and we're going to have to do that to be able to compete. And so I do think it takes patience and to really build a program. Everywhere I've been, I think it's been that way. But you also, at the same time, there's a reasonable expectation for us to improve because we did bring in some better players.
Stand back.
You told us back in camp, appreciate that you and the offensive staff helped give Peyton all the tools to be successful in the RPO and pick up first downs. But some of those third and shorts that he didn't convert on, is he thinking too much, or why isn't he being as successful in the RPO as your expectation is for him?
That's a tough one. I look forward to my meeting with him here in just a few minutes, and to kind of hear what he's thinking. So we really haven't talked about all of them, but I got all of them pulled up, and I want to talk with them through them again and see if I haven't done a good enough job, or Kent and I and Jesse and Nix, have we done a good enough job to call things he's comfortable with, and how he sees that play being developed. And you know, I know his IQ is high enough to understand everything, but I'm really anxious to see us talk through those things and see what he says.
The two follow-ups, road to Berg and then Bina.
You guys were talking in the preseason about the interior defensive line, just the new guys in the rotation through a couple games. How do you feel that crew's done, especially with the way they're slowing down the run?
Yeah, I thought, you know, statistically we've done really good against the rush thus far. And thought they crushed the pocket pretty good Saturday too. And that guy, he stood in there and made some throws now, and he took some hits. But you know, I think we pretty much stopped the run the second half with a light box, truthfully, which is encouraging to see. And don't know that you can do that every game against the competition we're going to face, but they were able to do that Saturday, and we rotated a lot of kids in there, a lot of players, and so that was like I said earlier, that there was definitely a positive coming out of Saturday, the way they adjusted and played in the second half. I think 14 of the points came off turnovers, and they really gave us every chance in the world to win that game.
Coach, it seemed like most of your explosive passing plays came on that first drive of the game on Saturday. Is there something Cal did to adjust, or is there something Auburn needs to do to sustain that kind of offense throughout the game?
Yeah, well, we didn't have enough possessions in that first half to do it, and we had another explosive play that we didn't get protected. I wish you could see the film, just see how open they are, and those are the ones we've got to convert on and get protected. So it was a mixture. Heck, I guess we just had 3 possessions the first half, other than the 2-minute drill, and that's an uncomfortable feeling to have for sure. They just controlled the whole clock. The second half was the opposite, honestly. We probably won the time of possession in the second half because of the way our defense played. Just could never get any consistency going though because of the turnovers or sacks.
Coach, last one, Jason.
You talk about interior defensive line. You guys knew Malik Blockman was a guy that had come on, but what have you seen out of a guy in 2 games in his college career to be out there with the first team defense a lot?
Like I said earlier, these young kids are just, it's a lot of fun coaching them. And, you know, Keldrick Falk, I think, had a great game also, and he's one of the best leaders and young men we have on our team. And Malik is kind of following him, which I like. And he's just always excited to practice, always excited to be coached. He's just young, and it's refreshing. As are those young receivers too. All these young kids, Morris Williams too, Waller, all of them ready. You know, we've got some really good young players, and Malik is. I didn't know he would be this far along, but it's really pleasant to see.